Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. Ready or not, let's do this. This is a ridiculously early morning webinar to start your day off right, whether you're ready for it or not. There's a little bit of mindset, a little bit of business sense, something to get your MLM, network marketing, small business, brick and mortar off and running like a well-oiled machine. Whether you are a newbie, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between, there's something here for you. Welcome. My name is Mina. I'm coming to you from New York City, out in the borough of Queens. It's the day after Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. How was your week? I'm sure it was very festive. I hope you got everything that you wanted for presents or just got some really quality time with your family. Today, I want to talk to you about self-discipline. We're coming to the end of the year. We're going to get into the brand new year, a year where people are ready to make resolutions and start something anew. And my question to you is this: why not start now? December is a month where you really need to hustle, especially when you're in the small business industry. This is the month to just really amp it up so that you can start off 2015 off to a good start. So for the mindset moment of this webinar, I'm going to talk about self-discipline. And what is self-discipline? Is self-discipline the mindset? Well, let me refer to my notes and tell you what self-discipline is all about. It's an essential skill. It's the foundation of success, self-discipline. Why is it that there are people who can do so much in very little time while the rest of us have trouble with time management? It all boils down to self-discipline. No personal success, achievement of goal, can be realized without self-discipline. It's singularly the most important attribute needed to achieve any type of personal excellence. Let me say that to you again. Self-discipline is singularly the most important attribute needed to achieve any type of personal excellence. And also this, when you're self-disciplined, you create a mindset of you create and cultivate a mindset where you are ruled by your deliberate choices and you're not swayed by your emotions, by bad habits or other people. So let me say that again. When you have self-discipline, you cultivate a mindset where you are moved by your deliberate choices, where you delay instant gratification, and you're not moved by your emotions, bad habits, or other people trying to push you here and there. You are making your own deliberate choices. So what is self-discipline? Self-discipline is the ability to control your emotions, the ability to control your bad habits, the ability to control your behavior in circumstances. It says here, self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, desires, and behavior. And I found this definition on a website called lifeessentialskills.net, which had a really good definition of what self-discipline is. And let me preface this by telling you about an experiment I read about a while back. And it's called the Marshmallow Experiment. And so this professor, this scientist, he wanted to study delayed gratification, instant gratification in children. So what he did was he got a group of 4-year-olds, I think a group of 4-year-olds, and he set up a room and he set up a hidden camera, had a table there. And so with each child, he had them sit at the table and he came into the room and he placed a marshmallow right in front of them. And so a marshmallow for a 4-year-old is something very fascinating. It's also something very tasty, marshmallow. So he told the child that I'm going to put this marshmallow in front of you right here. And then I got to go. If I come back in 20 minutes and you did not eat that marshmallow, you're going to get 2 more marshmallows. So you got that? He put the marshmallow in front of the child and he instructed the child to not touch the marshmallow or not eat the marshmallow. And if the child was able to not eat the marshmallow, to just leave it there, the child would get 2 more marshmallows in return. And he showed them the bag of marshmallows. And he left the room. And he did this with every single child in the group. And what he found his results were very interesting. 2/3 of the group, the moment that, the moment he gave them the instruction and they were looking at the marshmallow, and the moment that he got up and left the room, they immediately grabbed the marshmallow and they shoved it into their mouth. So that was the instant gratification part. Those were 2/3 of the group. But 1/3 of the group, they saw the marshmallow and they did everything in their power to not focus on the marshmallow. They would look away, they would swing their feet, they would play with their hands. They would distract themselves from not looking at the marshmallow, and they were resisting the urge to eat the marshmallow because they knew that if they did not eat the marshmallow, they would get 2 more marshmallows. So that was the immediate results of that experiment. 1/3 of the group was able to not eat the marshmallow and take their focus away from the marshmallow, and in turn they got 2 more marshmallows. So they now had 3 marshmallows to enjoy as a result. But the 2/3 of the group, they just immediately grabbed the marshmallow and they shoved it into their mouth, and that was that. So he followed this group, and he followed up with them 14 years later when they were 18 years old. And when he found out about them was even more surprising. For those that were able to delay their gratification, they were able to distract themselves and not eat the marshmallow so they can get 2 more marshmallows, they were doing relatively well. They were good students in school. They were on the path to success. They were going to attend college or doing something that was enabling them to have a successful life. They were off to a very good start. But the 2/3 of the people, the 2/3 of the group that was not able to delay, they just had to eat the marshmallow right now, they were not really on a very good path to life. They were delinquent. They did not do very well in school. They had they were delinquent, and they just did not have a good outlook on their lives. And it all boiled down to this: delaying the instant gratification. To put it in a nutshell, we live in a society of instant gratification. We want things right now. We have a difficult time delaying that gratification and waiting for something better. We just want it now. For instance, if you're going shopping, this is the season where everybody's buying presents and they're giving each other presents, and people want to buy and they want to shop. And the easiest thing to do is to plunk down your credit card to buy something. What if you were able to delay that instant gratification, and if you saw something in the store that you wanted and that you liked, but you have already in your closet, why not delay the gratification for a moment and just step away from it and think about it for a while, think about it for a week. And if you still want it after a week, then go back to the store and buy it. Or if that thing has an impossibly high price tag, instead of putting down a credit card and racking up debt, why not put away money for it and save for it so that you truly can buy it and not worry about going into debt? That is an example of delaying the instant gratification and have something for the long term. Now, here's even a better example. You're running a business. You just started a business, and you want results immediately. And you may be doing some things that are not ideal, but because you're learning it from your upline, or it's something that your past organization told you to do or taught you, but they are not behaviors that are ideal in the long run, in the long term. For instance, if you're going out and you're spamming in groups and you're throwing up your link everywhere. Now, if you're doing that, don't feel bad. It's been done. Everybody's done it. And they just didn't know any better. But I'm telling you that that's a tactic that does not work for you in the long run, because it can end up getting you banned from groups and deleted from people. It's better to build a relationship first and get people to know, like, and trust you, so that when they know you enough and they trust you enough and they like you enough, then they'll ask you, what do you do? I'd like to know more about what you're doing, your business, your product. But that takes time. And that is a form of delaying instant gratification. Being willing to work and build your business and build your name and your brand is a form of delaying that instant gratification. Now, we all need to make money, granted, of course. But this is, if you want to make residual, long-term residual income, there's a process and there's a period where you really got to work hard and you really got to be consistent and you really got to do stuff and do things even when nothing is happening at all. So that is what builds your self-discipline, where you're willing to just go out there and say, okay, for instance, my example, I'm willing to get up at 6 in the morning. It's not easy, and do this webinar and start posting content out there to help others build their businesses. And even if I don't see results right away, I know that I'm building a firm foundation. And in the meantime, as I'm doing this, I'm building that self-discipline where I am going to get up at an early hour and do this webinar and just keep moving forward until the momentum builds and builds and builds. And then one day, wow, this webinar will be out there and people will be like, oh, I want to go see this webinar and I'm willing to get up early to be on this webinar. So that is what I'm building towards. Okay, let me look at my notes here. There are 3 things that you need to do every single day. And this is going to help you with the self-discipline that you're building for your business. You need to create content in the form of blog, webinar, videos, SoundClouds. There's so many options available for you to create content and teach and help others. To email your list. Even if you don't have a list yet, keep on creating content and you will eventually attract people to you. Go out and connect with at least 10 new people a day. And that's how you can also build your list, is to connect with people, make new friends with the intent of serving them, not with the intent of making an immediate sale. Go out there and build relationships. Go out there and meet people and see how you can help them out. See how you can serve others in this realm of home business, network marketing, MLM. Because I'm certain that you have talents out there that other people don't have. You know how to do things. You know how to do certain things that other people don't. You'd be surprised. If you're in this space and you're familiar with webinars and how to do hangouts and how to set up a blog or do a video, you know more than a lot of people out there. And you'd be surprised if you put the question out there, you'd be surprised at how many people don't know how to do something like this, do a webinar, set up a webinar, or do a Google Hangout, or create a simple quickie video on YouTube, or set up a YouTube account, or schedule a Facebook post. That's content that you can create and put out there. That is value that you can put your own spin on and share with people out there. And to be able to consistently do that and produce content and share the value out there with the world takes self-discipline to do it every single day. So this is what the website essentiallifeskills.net says about self-discipline. Self-discipline allows you to reach your goals in a reasonable time frame and to live a more orderly and satisfying life. Let me read that to you again. Self-discipline allows you to reach your goals in a reasonable time frame and to live a more orderly and satisfying life. When you have self-discipline, you are realizing how you can schedule your time most effectively so you can get more done. And that requires a lot of self-discipline. Dan Kennedy is a very successful copywriter. His work, he can write a single article and generate 6 figures from that. And how did he get to that point? He did it through self-discipline. And he has some really wise words about self-discipline that I'm going to share with you right now. And he said this. He said, in the entrepreneurial environment, the ability to get things done and done right the first time will magnetically attract incredible contacts, opportunities, and resources to you. Let me read that to you again. In the entrepreneurial environment, something that you and I are in, if you're in the MLM, network marketing, small business, online or off, if you're doing your own thing, you're pursuing your passion, the entrepreneurial environment, the ability to get things done right the first time, do it right the first time around, will attract incredible opportunities, contacts, and resources to you. And that all boils down to self-discipline. He goes on further to state, To become an infinitely more productive entrepreneur who makes the most of his or her time requires three things. It boils down to three things: awareness, decision, and action. Three things it boils down to. Awareness. When you become aware of your time and the value of time and how you use your time and how others use your time, you start to guard it a little bit more wisely. You start to realize, okay, I have 24 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Why is it that some people who are so insanely successful make the best of their time and use their 24 hours in a day very wisely while others squander it away? Okay, I've been guilty of just squandering time away. When you sit down and you really think about it, how you've used your time in a day, you can, it's surprising how much time can be just lost like that and never recuperated. Dan Kennedy, as I said earlier, is a very successful copywriter. And I had the privilege of having access to an interview that one of my mentors did with him. One of my mentors is Brian Finale. And Brian Finale scored an interview with Dan Kennedy. To get an interview with Dan Kennedy is very difficult. It's not something that's very accessible. Brian had to fax him, and he had to write a letter. And his letter, Brian Finale is also a copywriter. And so whatever the letter that Brian wrote, he got Dan Kennedy's attention, and Dan Kennedy granted him a 45-minute interview. And I was in on that interview, as well as a whole bunch of other students in Brian Finale's course. And Dan Kennedy stuck to the hour. And when the 45 minutes was almost up, he let Brian know, okay, your time is running out. You know, we're coming to the end of our time. And Brian was like, okay, and he wrapped up the interview, and that was that. The interview was done in 45 minutes flat. Now, Dan Kennedy, he's come to a point in his life, his professional life, where his work is extremely valued. And because his work is extremely valued, he can demand the time. If people want his time, he can put the requirements there, and people will follow it. They're more than happy to follow it. In fact, because he has an incredible amount of self-discipline, he attracts those incredible opportunities to himself, those incredible resources, and and those contacts who value his time. So he's able to put that requirement in, and he gets it. It all boils down to self-discipline. So you need to be aware of your time, and your time as a precious resource. When you become aware of your time, and you value your time, and you value how other people use your time, you're going to value other people's time as well. The same way that you are a stickler for being on time and being punctual and using it wisely, you're going to value other people's time as well in terms of getting to an appointment on time. And okay, we live in a society that these days it seems like we are not aware of time, and that's why we're late to appointments, and we make a joke about it, say, yeah, I can't be on time, yeah, I'm late, yada, yada, yada. Well, in reality, it's not doing us a whole world of good by not being aware of our time, because those little minutes that we squander away, we cannot ever recoup. So become aware of your time. When you become very aware of your time, then you start to put things in place so that you can make the most of your time. Now, I'll use myself as an example again, this webinar. I have to prepare for this early morning webinar at 6 a.m. So, which means I have to prepare my material the day before. So I have to take some time out and prepare that material the day before. And then I realized that, I'm not much of a morning person. I need some time to wake up so I can do this webinar, which means that I can wake up no later than 5 a.m. to get ready to do this webinar at 6 a.m. So that I have to set up my day prior so that I can do everything I need to do in the time I have so that I can be ready for this webinar, so I can get up and be ready for this webinar at 6 a.m. And all of that boils down to self-discipline. So doing this webinar is helping me improve my self-discipline each and every day. Like I said, being not a morning person, this is a big challenge for me, but I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone and becoming more and more aware of my time and the measures I have to put into place so that I can successfully conduct an early morning webinar. The second thing you need to have to become an incredibly effective entrepreneur is a decision. First of all, you're becoming aware of your time. You have that awareness of your time and how to use it better. And the second is to a decision. All achievement comes with a conscious decision. People who become entrepreneurs made a conscious decision. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to build my dream. I want to have my own time. I want to be able to do what I want when I want to do it with the resources I have available to me. And that requires self-discipline to be able to get up every morning and do what you have to do to build your business. That requires a decision. So here, this is what I wrote last night. People who become successful made the decisions to work hard, to sacrifice and to control their time and others' use of their time so that they can reach the levels of success that they desire. Okay, I wrote that last night. A little bit of inspiration. People who become successful made the decision to work hard. So you need to work hard if you want to be successful, to sacrifice and to control their time and others' use of their time so that they can reach the level of success that they desire. So you want to become successful, you have to make a decision that you want to become successful. You have to make a decision that you need to work hard. You have to make the decision to tap into leadership, to study leadership, and to practice leadership. You have to make a decision that even when you don't see anything, you're going to keep on moving forward. Even on days when you don't feel like doing anything, you're going to get up and keep moving. And even days when you fall back and you slack, because you're going to have days when you have setbacks, you're not going to let that derail you. You're not going to I think I saw this on Pinterest. If you have a setback and you decide to give up, that's like having a flat tire and slashing the other 3 tires. You're not going to do that. So even if you have a setback, you're going to make a decision to just get back up and go at it again, okay? And just keep on moving forward, right? Action. That's the third thing you need to become an insanely productive entrepreneur is action. And there are 3 kinds of action, okay? There are starting things or implementation, following through, and completion. Those are the 3 types of actions: starting, implementation, following through, and completion. And so once you've made a decision, you have to follow through on it. Okay, I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur. What do I need to do first? Okay, I need to start connecting with people and start to build relationships with them and see how I can help them out. That's one thing you need to do. Start meeting people, at least 10 people a day, through social media, through Twitter, through Facebook. Start creating content and just putting it out there, and you'll start drawing people to you. So starting is easy, but following through is difficult. And you can't rely on sheer willpower alone. And so Dan Kennedy says that you have to act on self-discipline. Create an environment where high self-discipline is supported, okay? So you have to create an environment where you need a high amount of self-discipline. What can you do to push you out of your comfort zone? And you need to do it every single day. Not only start, but follow through every single day. It could be doing a video every single day. Not necessarily doing something as extreme as I am doing, but you could do a Google Hangout every single day. Like my friend Bert Bledsoe. Check him out. He has freedailycoaching.com. He does a webinar every morning at 10:30 Eastern, but he lives out in Colorado. So for him, that's 8:30 in the morning. While it's for here in Eastern Standard Time, 10:30, over there, it's 8:30 in the morning. And he has people who live in San Diego and in California and in Los Angeles that get up at 7 in the morning to watch his daily morning webinar. So he established that a little bit over 2 years ago, and now this day he's a very successful entrepreneur. He's making good residual income. He was able to take his family on vacation for the first time this year, which is a big thing. They were able to pay off their car. He and his wife paid off their car, and now their home is an urban homestead. You really need to check Bert Bledsoe out. He has this urban homestead where he has these little cute baby goats and bunnies and little chickens. It's a dream that his wife always had, and now he is able to fulfill her dream by setting up their home as an urban homestead. And it all came down to self-discipline. where he said, I'm going to do an early morning hangout. It started off as an early morning wake-up call, developed into a hangout. Now it is a coaching, free daily coaching session that he holds every day, and he has his personal coaching clients. And this is something that you can do, and that I know that I can do as well, and I'm building towards that, self-discipline. So how can we start practicing self-discipline? Start with baby steps, like I just outlined to you today, something that you can do every day to help build your business. Becoming aware of your time and how it's spent and how others spend your time, and putting in those requirements of how your time is spent. When you are aware of your time, you will be respectful of other people's time. Okay. Let's see. So what is the motivator for all of this? What is the motivator to becoming highly self-disciplined? Well, this is my motivator. Visualizing myself running a successful business, having all the bills paid, and not worrying about living from check to check. Being able to contribute to my spiritual community. I'm sure you have a church that you're a part of and you want to give more. You want to give more to charity. You want to be able to travel and visit your family at the drop of a hat, but maybe also be able to travel and be able to give and help out there and be on missions or things like that. Being able to grace the stage and inspire others to success, which is a dream for many people. Being able to speak on stage, being able to be a lifestyle coach or a coach and coach others to success. Being able to travel the world and do this starts with one small step in self-discipline. So it's good to start small. I want to be able to help people and make a decent living out of it. How about starting that way, starting small? Wanting to help others and just to be able to make a decent living and pay your bills and not worry about being in debt. When you start with those small baby steps and you do it consistently each and every day, your self-discipline will be set into place and your success is going to come to you. And in order to do that, you must be aware of your time, how it's spent, and you guard it well because time is precious. So now it's time for the business sense part of this webinar. Okay. Now, this is something I was working on yesterday. I was filming a video on scheduling a Facebook post. And I know I spoke about scheduling your Facebook posts on your pages, on your fan pages, on your business pages, which is a relatively simple thing to do. It's very straightforward. But did you know that you can schedule a Facebook post in the past? Like go back in time and schedule your Facebook post? Yes, you can do that. You can do that on your personal page. And that's what I found out yesterday. I thought that when you schedule a Facebook post, you can do it on your fan page and schedule it 2 hours in advance or 4 hours in advance, which is possible. I thought you could do the same thing on your personal page, but it's not the same thing. You can schedule a Facebook post on your personal page right now or into the past. The reasoning behind that is not certain. I went on socialmediaexaminer.com and they said that it could be just to fill up and enhance your timeline a bit, or to put in a lifetime event that you forgot to put in earlier. But the Social Media Examiner website suggests a milestone instead of just doing a backdated post. So the site also states that the interesting thing about backdating is that the post goes out to people's news feeds right away, immediately, and then it's shown in the appropriate place on the timeline. So anyway, let me show you how this is done. I'm going to share my screen, but first of all, let me just do this. Like so. I'm going to go into my home page. Here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Screen share right here. Share. Okay, I'm going to present everyone. Okay, I'm sharing my screen right now. This is my I was up this morning at 8 a.m., which was a SoundCloud that I did. But let's go back to my homepage, my personal page, which is this. And these are extra pages. These are other pages that I manage. Let's go back to my homepage. Okay, so let's schedule a post. I'm going to upload some inspirational photo or video. I'm going to go here and find, let's see, inspirational pic here. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I'm going to put this one. This is a cool one. Okay. So this is a quote by Anne Frank that says, "No one has ever become poor by giving." And it has all about to do with generosity. And I'm going to say this, Anne Frank said this: "No one has ever become poor by giving, but does." Having the heart to give comes from an abundance in that you can give time, you can give money, you can share your talents with abundance mindset. When you give, much is returned to you. Do you agree? All right, so I just wrote a little bit of description, gave a little bit of a call to action. See, people will respond back to me. Now, you see there's a difference between the personal page and your fan pages. Here, down here, instead of like the post with a little triangle here, you have to find a little clock here. It says set the date and time of your post. So of course the year is from 2014 way back down into, wow, you can really, and I see it doesn't go further than 1971. 1971 is the year that I was born. So that's another new discovery. You can't go further back than the year you were born. But we're going to do 2014. And we're going to add the month here, December. But you can see, you can just December. You can add the day. You can put on the 25th that I would like, if I like to. Okay, just for, you know, just for the example of just scheduling a post back in time, go back in time, and I'm going to add the hour. I'm going to add it at, look at this. Now it goes into the afternoon because I'm scheduling back in time. I'm going to schedule it for, let's see, I don't know. Let's say 3 a.m., okay? Add the minute, 3 a.m., okay? So I am scheduling this post back in time, going back in time to schedule this post on, for most people, Christmas Day at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is a time where people are sleeping or children are just gearing up. They're sleeping, but you know, in their minds, they're just excited about opening their presents. Marketers working into the wee hours of the morning. I'm going to post this here, going back in time and posting this. Now I'm going to post this and watch what happens. Okay, it immediately gets posted accordingly. Look at this, at December 24th. It says yesterday at 3 a.m. Somewhere in my timeline. And what Social Media Examiner says that even when you schedule a post back in time, it immediately gets sent out to the news feeds of the people who are following you, who are your friends, and they can immediately respond back to it. But this is just an example of how, we just created a post back in time. We went back in time and we posted a post yesterday at 3 a.m. So what is the purpose behind this? It could be just to fill up your timeline and enhance it. Beef up your personal timeline with more engaging posts. Maybe add a live event that you've got to post about. It could be a live event business-wise. You made your first sale, or you got your first person to join you in your business, and you want to celebrate. But with live events, live events and backdating those, Social Media Examiner suggests posting a milestone instead when it comes to backdating a post or putting a lifetime event on your timeline. But the site also states that the interesting thing about backdating is what you just witnessed right now, is that the post goes out to people's news feeds immediately and then is shown in the appropriate place in your timeline. So that is how you can go back in time to post on your personal timeline. And that is the only way you can schedule posts on your timeline. Let's do another one and show you how. Let's try to schedule one today, and I'll show you how far you can schedule one ahead of time. I'm just now going to upload an inspirational video, not a video, a quote. How about this one? Just keep calm and have an awesome day. I'm not going to say anything about it. Let's set the date and time, 2014, add the month, add the day, add the hour, okay? So what time is it? It's 6 a.m. right now. Add the minute. See, right now it's 6:52, but I can only do it up to 6:40. So just right now, I'm going to put 6:40, and let's post it. And it goes down here. And it says I posted it 12 minutes ago. And it's 6:52. I kid you not. And it just is added to my post. I posted back in time. So you can see how you can post on your personal time page. You can schedule a post right away a little bit, but always in the past, you're going back in time when you're scheduling a post on your personal Facebook page, and it's just to enhance your personal timeline. So let's go back to here. Awesome sauce. So you can visit me on my blog, minagpalakibai.com, for more updates on these webinars and more cool things, especially little tidbits here and there of a mastermind I attended last week in Las Vegas with attraction marketing queen Diane Hochman. You'll be seeing a little bit more about that. And if you go on my personal timeline on Facebook, you will see a little video that I did with her where we talk a little bit about this ridiculously early morning webinar that I do each and every morning at 6 a.m. So thanks for stopping by on this webinar, Rise and Shine, Ready or Not, Let's Do This. This is Mina coming to you from New York City out in the borough of Queens. Have an awesome Friday and an even awesomer weekend. Happy holidays. See you on Monday, folks. Cheers. Bye.